Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And he'll go down, brought down at the 20-yard line. Jaron Reed muscles his way in for the sack.
Well, no, it takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack.
And long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans. 3rd and long, it's Watson. Got a man open. It's Fuller for the Texans touchdown. Will Fuller with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Texans push further out in front. A diving catch for the score. He laid out. That was special.
And you know the first thing they're going to check, right? Did he complete the process of the catch? All the way through, all the way to the ground. Ball doesn't hit the ground without control in his hands. All of that, yes. Check the box, touchdown.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They trail by 10, 13-3 as they come up on a 1st and 10.
Check 4. Let's do it.
They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 11 yards there and a 1st down for Seattle. His first carry of their 2nd drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their 1st drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurdling through them.
Now a nice throw here, right side. He hauls it in. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 1st down, Seattle, 16 yards the gain there.
1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Now Wilson. He'll find Ballore out of the backfield. It's a gain of 7, and it's a 2nd down.
Now that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Fans, a reminder, I have a note card here that says ad-lib halftime preview. So I guess let's do just that as we'll hand things over. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The lightning rod, J.J. Watt with a sack. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the 1st down marker is here on 3rd.
Let's go, defense.
From the gun, it's Wilson. And he's got his target. That's Moore. And he's going to be taken down with another 1st down as the stop's made at the Texans' 26.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and this is what we saw there. A nice pickup for a 1st down.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. To throw is Wilson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there. But now it's 3rd and goal.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. On 3rd and goal, Wilson. They'll roll him out. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And the Texans scoop it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Result of the play, 1st down and 10.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Throwing on second down. Wilson forced out to his left. Incomplete, almost intercepted. They haven't picked him off yet. Would have been a great time for the first, but instead it's 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he's got Lockett. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
And a key number on that play, 3. 3rd play of the drive, 3rd down, spectacular catch, turns into a 1st down.
1st down saves them from a 3 and out.
55, hey, Let's go, tackle, let's go, we got this,
Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. Out to his left. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
I don't think you got it, sir.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Wilson. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. J.J. Watt getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Wilson and the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. From the shotgun, Wilson. He's got this one complete to John Ursua. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 36. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. David Moore, the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
2nd and 10 now. Wilson nowhere to escape, and he goes down. J.J. Watt, who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other.
And he's going to go down again. J.J. Watt, my goodness, make that now 5 sacks for him in this ball game. Really, really turning in an incredible performance. Now here's Michael Dixon, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt.
That's it,
the Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they look to add to that lead.
Hey, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field.
DeAndre Hopkins, he's all alone. The 20. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Texans push further out in front. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by
looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Gary and Conley. That had disaster written all over it. You've got a right-handed quarterback rolling left and throwing it pretty far downfield.
It's really difficult to do, to try and get your body twisted around into the proper position and get anything on the ball as you heave it downfield. And that's what it actually turns into, a heave. And that's not really a good throw, is it?
Not good, and we saw the result. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 22. Now it's Watson. He's letting this one go for Fuller. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
On 2nd down, it's Miller.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback on the expected passing situation.
Let's go, D.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson setting up the screen for Miller. And a good tackle there right around the 30. Stops him short of the first down. The screen good for 6, but it's not enough as it leads to a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
They're going for it. It's Watson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. So they go on 4th down. Not only do they not get it, it turns into 6 points the other way. Disastrous.
And many people think you should just go ahead and knock it down in that situation. Turn it over for the offense. But I had a defensive coordinator recently tell me, we see that as a passive play. We don't do that anymore. We want the ball in our hands, and we want to head the other way.
Probably also instinct a lot of times. If you see a lot of green grass ahead of you, go ahead and grab it.
It's the exact right play to do. That's knowing when to break the rules and when to make a play that maybe you hadn't been taught.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
The Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And, Charles, you'd have to think this is where you want to start taking some time off the clock.
Oh, definitely, because you got the lead, right? You take a good look up there and you say, okay, what do we need to do here? Well, you're not in full-out protect mode. You want to make sure you run it, throw it safe, take some time off, and eat it up.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. They'll run it again with Miller. And he will be taken down, but a big pickup there on what's going to be the final play of the 3rd quarter. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Texans in control of the football and leading this game as well as we start the 4th. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
On 2nd and 11 now. Watson. Throw left side complete. That's Fuller. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 31-yard line.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. They go back to the ground now with Miller. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and they're going to have a 3rd down. Again, it's Miller. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And his kick is good. Not by much. It was leaking oil in the end, but he tucks it in the bottom right corner. And that will stretch the lead up to 13. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play at. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
Hey, we got to get this stop here, D.
To throw again on second down. Wilson, he's going to look deep for more. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Bernardrick McKinney, the linebacker, picks it. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games. And now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Drop these.
A first down carry now for Miller. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. On 2nd and 11 now. Watson. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards.
Well, it may seem a little unorthodox to some people. Got the lead, 4th quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
No, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Watson. Fuller brings it in over the middle. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 15-yard line. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. So Houston going to come away here with the victory. And they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the 4th quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. From Seattle, so long, everybody.